I guess there's not much of a difference.
No man, diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 349 of Fourth and Jawn.
Wow.
My bad.
Dyslexia got him.
Here with Evan Hearn and Mr. Kincaid. And tonight we're talking number 62 and 94. When I say 62 and 94, that doesn't mean Jason Kelsey or Josh Sweat. That means the picks in the second round and in the third round. Obviously, on the timeline, you'll see numerous conversations talking about, who are we picking at number 10? It seems all the rage. They may be talking about the guy named Jawn. Jawn, you know the guy?
I think I'm familiar.
They might be talking about Nolan Smith. There might be, but we're talking about 62 and 94. At the end of the day, I think where you win in the draft is in the mid rounds. I mean, you look back at that draft where we got Goddard, we got Sweat, we got Maddox, Lil Tay, then we got Jordan Mailata in the seventh. This is where you get your team back to where you need to be. So I think this is what I get excited about. Day 2, day 3 of the draft. What about you guys?
I mean, you're just to build off exactly what you said. Like, you're supposed to hit in the first round. Those are the guys where it should be a no miss type of thing. As you get deeper into the draft, you're absolutely right. How you build a successful and sustain a Super Bowl caliber team is by finding those diamonds in the rough, so to speak. And second day, second and third round, we're not necessarily getting into the rough part of the draft, but there's certainly some players every single year that slip from the first round into day 2 that should have been a day 1 guy. And if Howie can find those guys, our team could be that much better.
Most definitely. I think Howie's really good during the second and third days of the draft. He always finds them dominant erupts. My favorite, and I'm pretty sure it's not everybody's favorite, is I'm gonna have to say he went to the Packers after we drafted him from West Virginia. Can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing the memory blank.
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas. Yeah, Rasul Douglas. He's probably my favorite. Has since then. So,
and dude, what's crazy too is like looking back on Russell's time that he spent here. The entire time that he was here, I was like, he's just not being used enough. He's not being used enough. And people wanted to like poke little tiny holes in his gameplay. But dude, when the dude was on the field, he made a difference.
He did.
And now he is, I would say, probably a top 30 corner in the league for sure. So. Yeah, Sewell.
Do you think that was Schwartz's fault?
Oh yeah, I think that Schwartz goes to blame, but it's also a matter of yeah. I think Schwartz is probably the biggest problem there. He was the same draft as Sidney Jones, if I'm right.
Who's this? Yeah,
he was
drafted. Yeah. And man, was that a disappointment?
I kind of think that do you think that Rasul's development here could have been kind of put to the side because they were trying to develop Sidney Jones more and make him, because that was the guy that they went and got in that second round, and they viewed as a first round talent, and because of injury fell into the second round.
Well,
Do you think that Rasul got the short end of the stick because they looked at? I just
think the coaching. He said that he didn't start seeing the game correctly until he got to Green Bay. So the teaching process to the way that he was learning, it didn't work. But obviously, also system wise, where they're using, while Rasul was here, we had this thing called Rasul Island, that's not utilizing. I mean, what was he? He's a 4.6 guy. Was he a 4.5 guy?
Yeah, he wasn't particularly fast for a corner.
He wasn't fast, but he was also 6'3". and rangy.
Lengthy.
You know what I mean?
And
So,
while we're talking about, I mean, just to segue right into the conversation, one of the guys I've been pumping up, Julius Brents, is another lengthy corner like that. And then you look at what Sean Desai was able to do with Tariq Woolen last year in Seattle. Tariq Woolen was a 5th-round pick, and he ended up coming into the league. And that guy is like a top 10 corner in the league right now.
Yeah, Brents is getting a lot of love.
And so that's why I'm just saying, you saw what Desai was able to do with Tariq Woolen. Think about what he could do with Brents as well.
This guy giving away his picks already.
Yeah,
But shout out to David Pops in the chat. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Rack Shack, Todd, Joey King,
Gordon.
talking about bringing up his guys. I want you guys in the comments to bring up some of your guys on. If you got 3 guys at number 62 and 3 guys at number 94, would love to hear what you guys have. Obviously, we're going to dork it out tonight. Again, NFL draft getting ready. It's only a couple weeks away. Only a couple weeks away.
17 days, bro. 17 days.
Joey says how he finds steals every year. I mean, this is what it is, man. We're trying to find some steals, get our guys that we like, get them out there, get them some pub. I know, shout out to Hollis Thomas. Wasn't feeling too well tonight. So we're sending him love as well. Shout out to Mal.
Birthdays.
We got a couple birthdays. Shout out to his significant other, wifey, Allison. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Lucky Jr.
My nephew.
Prime is out there celebrating his son today. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it live for the homies. So. Might as well get going and get this pod going. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the round 1. Let's talk about round 2 and round 3 on the timeline. How about that?
Sir.
How about that?
Bijan.
We're going to go. It's every time I turn on Twitter, it's Bijan this, Bijan that, and again, I love the guy.
Do you think, as a guy that is a Bijan stan right now going into this draft, do you think that there is too much pressure and too high of a bar that Eagles fans are expecting out of him coming into it?
Yes.
Bijan?
Yes.
I'm just saying. Like, do you think that hypothetically, if Bijan were to get drafted by the Eagles and he were to not have 1,000 yards in his first year, do you think Eagles fans would view that as a disappointment?
Yes, because we have high blood pressure. We have high standards. I mean,
if Miles Sanders got 1,000, Bijan's getting 1,000.
I mean,
but Miles also needed to kind of wait in the wing for a few years, not get his touches. We had to sit in the stands and beg Sirianni to run the ball. I mean, I remember that. Run the ball.
But this is the thing, though, about Robinson. He's please don't shoot me. I'm just saying I've watched some tape on him. I see Christian McCaffrey. I see him going in the slot. I see him making mismatches. Hard for the opponent to be able to say, "Hey, come guard this."
Right.
You got Jalen. You got Jalen at the helm, right? You got RPO. Good luck. Pick your poison. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree.
Easy 1,000. He's in the Eagle uniform, easy 1,000. But again,
all-purpose yards. But dude, honestly, all-purpose yards. If he stays healthy all year, I think it's an easy 1,500 all-purpose yards.
But the only problem is with our theories right now, he's not even going to be on this team because we're not drafting a running back in the first round.
Says you.
Yeah.
According to our picks tonight. Okay. So all the Bijan stands quietly have left the chat. Let's see. We gotta bring up some of these. We'll let Tim go with his first guys at number 62. And again, obviously we had everyone give 3 of their dudes because some of these guys are going to be gone. But shout out to Tim who came up with his number 2 here.
And shout out to Gail 62. Who made these killer graphics, man.
Facts.
Love in the comments for Gail's
on the spot. You know what? We need to give like the flowers to Gail and some cheers for him because
he kills it with these graphics.
Hey man, I try.
Facts, bro. Come on, bro.
Now Tim, tell us about some of your dudes here. Just to preface this, all of us did not tell each other who we were picking.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, the first time you're picking.
Yeah. So the first one I went with safety. Even though we're probably not going to go safety because we haven't drafted safety. So I don't know how long when. So I went with Antonio Johnson from Texas A&M, 6'2", 198 pounds. He's a versatile defensive back who can play in the slot, the safety, and some linebacker. He gets into that. He gets into the program. I think you can put his little bit of weight up, probably like 205, 208, 210. You know what I'm saying? You can line him up. He can be that mix. He can be that mixed match nightmare for covering tight ends, and that's who I went with because I love safety. I played safety in high school, so I had to go with safety. Even though we know how he loves to build in the trenches, and the trenches is how you win championships, right?
Yes, sir.
My second one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I dig it.
Okay. Yeah, how you feel about this?
Antonio Johnson. Personally, for me, Antonio Johnson is probably like my fourth safety on the board. But I do like him as a prospect. Like I said, these are day two guys. I will say I don't want to cut you off in the middle of explaining your guys, but you're going to be getting to a guy that I really, really like. So go right ahead.
Gotcha. I got Marvin Mims coming from Oklahoma, wide receiver. This I think he fits perfect with Quez Watkins at that third option. I think you're going to have a little bit of a battle. You're going to have some, we're not going to expect that much from him as a rookie. I'm not going to put all that expectation on him and say that, but I think he can give Quez a run for his money. He put up, I think he caught 54 passes for 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, while averaging, and he's also a Swiss Army knife. He's also involved in the punt return game. He averaged like 16 yards per attempt.
Marvin Mims is nice, man. I was kind of getting at the last guy you were talking about.
Of course.
That's what I'm talking about.
Of course. As you guys know, we got Zach Charbonnet. He started Michigan. So I would definitely want to put that out there. He started Michigan first, and then he actually went out to the Sunshine State of UCLA. This is one of those days where this is a guy that puts his foot in the ground. He can go. Not that fast. I think we ran like a 4.5 or 4.6 somewhere around there. But let's be honest, 40 times don't really count. It's about game speed. We all know about. We all know about UCLA. We all know about Chip Kelly, right?
Of course. Those are high-powered offenses, yes.
Exactly. So, those are my 3 picks at pick 62.
No, Zach Charbonnet, it was only a matter of time before he ended up, getting brought up in the conversation. We've been talking about him a lot on the show as well. And Gail's kind of a guy that has turned me on to him. Dude, he is a baller, man. And the one thing that I keep in the back of my mind, though, is exactly what you said, is the whole Chip Kelly factor. And like how much of that offensive scheming had to do with Chip Kelly as opposed to Zach Charbonnet's skill set. I still think Zach Charbonnet is an exceptional running back. And at 62, I would be all over it, man.
Yeah. I love Charbonnet. That's a dude because I'm the mindset like, all right, if we're not drafting a running back early, which I totally am cool with. There's a lot of this is like the running back draft again. You talk about that draft when we had Fournette, we had McCaffrey, we had Aaron Jones at the back end. We had
Eckler in that as well. Or is he? I think he might have been a couple years after.
I'm not sure. I think he was undrafted though, right?
We had Corey Clement go undrafted that year, but we do remember Pumphrey in that draft as well. But just talking about
brother, that's your brother.
My brother. The running back draft where you can get these guys later. There's so many dudes, and that's why I feel like the whole. I'm not gonna even say his name, Bijan. The whole talk about Bijan when there's all these other backs, just ask a Bijan stand who his favorite day 2 or day 3 back is. Just ask them.
I enjoy Skittles, but if I'm choosing between Skittles and lobster, one is obviously way better than the other.
Facts. Also, you're that guy that comes up and asks for a great coupon. You want caviar?
I want some Bijan mustard.
Shout out to Mark Bird, resident Pac-12 guy. He says Charbonnet, yes, please. Joey King
I
says
also sorry, go
running
ahead.
back room heavy. Running back room is heavy right now. Do we need a running back?
I
Well,
wouldn't say it's heavy. Rashad Penny's
uh,
injury prone, and then behind him we got Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott. I mean,
there's,
I
that's
mean,
room for improvement in my mind.
there's only
and let's be honest,
600,000 guaranteed dollars on that.
Yeah.
On
Penny?
Rashad
On
Penny.
Penny? Oh, but this is the thing with Penny. This is my thing with Penny. There's been times, I don't know if you guys see Seahawks games. He hasn't finished them. He gets nicked up or banged up. He doesn't come back. I remember there was one time where Pete Carroll was like, they were like, "Yeah, is he coming back?" They were like, "Yeah, we don't even know." Like
No,
what do you mean?
that's been the story of his career. I mean, he's been super productive when healthy. And I think that like that's something that you can lean on. And that like I think that there will be games this year for the Eagles where it was like the Rashad Penny game. You know what I mean? Where he just pops off and he is the clear key to victory that day. But I think that there's also going to be some missed games as well. And that's kind of why I'm sitting here thinking about drafting a running back high, is because you could have Rashad Penny be your 2, and he doesn't get as much in the rotation. And, I kind of think that the guy that I want is much better anyway.
If it's a long season. So you talk about this running back room. There's only, Gainwell. Rashad Penny's only here for a year. Boston Scott is, serviceable in his small spurts, no pun intended.
Right.
Special teams guy as well, but you want to bring in competition. You want to get a younger guy in here. Set it and forget it for the next 4 years. The same thing you did with Miles Sanders, you can do with another running back and not pay him, because the Eagles, we talked about that, getting that 1,000-yard season out of Miles Sanders, how important that was. We let him go after he finally got a 1,000-yard season. Why? Because we did not want to pay him.
Right.
Same exact thing that happened with Jeremy Maclin, man. If you remember that, we gave him the 1 year prove it deal, and then he had something like 1,100 yards or something that year, and then went and got paid in KC.
Yeah, but he also did us dirty though. I don't know if you remember. Like he already had a deal in place with the Chiefs. Yeah, he already had a deal in place. It was like basically trying to bamboozle the Eagles, and that's the reason why they lost that draft pick that year.
Mm-hmm. Now Jay says, "Where's Tank? He makes his string." Tank is not feeling well tonight, so we're gonna have to, piggyback off of a Tank. He's not feeling well.
I'm not good enough.
Damn.
I'm about biggest tank, not that wide.
We got a king tonight, not a tank. All right.
Shout out to Prime, who's also in the building here.
Happy birthday, little man.
Happy birthday, my little guy.
I also want to say too, because you talked about how this is a running back. Like if this is the draft to get a running back, this is the one. I kind of feel the same way. I don't know about you guys, but about wide receiver as well. I think that this wide receiver draft goes
mid-round. Like this is the draft to get like second to mid-round. Like
I'm just saying. I think that
value wise,
I understand what you're saying about where you should take them. I'm simply saying I think the amount of wide receivers that are going to come into this league and contribute from this draft is a lot higher than in previous drafts. That's what I'm getting at.
I would go defensive tackle. I would go to defensive tackle. I think there's a lot of good defensive tackles. I mean, there's Carter, right?
Right.
And then the gap is not that much. You know what I mean? The gap is not that large. I mean, you got some guys that are going to be in contention in the third and second round, going to be able to, but my favorite running back though, besides Carbonet, is Gibbs. I love Gibbs.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs, great.
Man,
Gibbs
God.
nice.
I was talking to Gail about that earlier today, and that like I am a Bijan stan. I've made that very apparent on online and in the show. But I have to be honest, like the more and more I watch Gibbs, he hasn't become a better running back prospect to me than Bijan, but the gap between them isn't as big as people make it seem. They are both really, really good running back prospects.
I mean, Gibbs is he's a guy who's like, you can line him up all over the place. I think he's shown, whether at Georgia Tech or at Alabama, he's been successful. I just think, I have to check. I really have to go back and check his blocking. But other than that, he's a dynamic player, man. David Pops says running back needs to depends solely on two things: health and use by Nick. Okay. Ryan is giving his three guys: Kendre Miller or Roshan Johnson. He says greater than Zach Charbonnet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out to Sean. He says, "What's up, guys? I would trade the 10th pick with Tampa Bay and return the 19th and the 2024 for
You left
first round."
out Devin White.
And Devin White add
You
that
left
to the
out
mix.
Devin White.
Yeah, but with that though, Devin White's about to make 11 to 12 million. So you would have to get the Howie genius that say, "Hey, we gonna need that that number."
Yeah,
to get
but at the
chopped
same
down.
time, he already has worked as Howie Genius and moved a lot of cap space around. I mean, we are sitting around like 20 million, I want to say, in space, and then on top of that, like we talked about how 600,000 tied to the running back room. How much money is tied to this linebacker room? I don't think they're making much money either.
They ain't paying no linebackers.
What's the name? My God, what was the first linebacker? What was the linebacker that we just signed? I can't. Moro.
Yeah.
He has no
Morrow.
guarantee. There's no guaranteed money on his contract. Like how?
Yeah.
And he was a tackling machine in Chicago. How, man?
I mean, you always got to look at how you spend. The way that just follow the money. Just follow the money. That'll tell you where. That'll tell you where the Eagles really give a damn about position.
Joe goes, would you like
Jameer
Gibbs over Covey at return? I think that question kind of answers itself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, right now the Eagles have for talking about the running back position, they have 2.59% of their cap spent at running back.
Yeah.
Right now, you look at the linebacker position. Let's see. Right now, the linebacker position, the Eagles have spent. Let's see.
I guess it's
we
like
have
500,000.
5.25% of the cap spent there. Most of it is going to Hassan Reddick. If you
want to count him as a linebacker,
right?
If you want to call, you know what I'm saying. So that's really, I mean, they're always putting money in the trenches, but we gotta move right along here.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we go to Evan?
Let's do it.
Jay says all good. Gail didn't mean we're just playing with you, Jay. We love you, Jay, man.
Just
we love
messing with
Jay.
you, bro.
Joey says, "Where's Jalen Hyatt?" I think could be top of the second, mid second. Seems like teams have fallen off. I mean, not teams, but analysts have now joined the Cedric Tillman hype train. But more on that in a second. We're gonna go to Evan's selection here. Let's see, where's the Evan's selection here?
What's up, Angel Reese?
So, Evan, you want to talk through your picks at number 62?
Yes, I will. All right. So, some of these names I've already mentioned in previous podcasts. Actually, I believe all of these names. But yeah, these are my guys. One of which I'll start at the beginning. I'm going to talk about Jordan Battle. Obviously there's been a ton of talk, a ton of mock drafts talking about Brian Branch. Everybody is all Brian Branched up. I've seen him go as high as 10 on some people's mock drafts, which is A, insanity, and B, it would just never happen. I mean, the Eagles don't value the safety position like that. But if they were looking for a high-end safety, I believe that pick 62 is more so in their wheelhouse. I look at a guy like Jordan Battle, who I think has kind of lost a lot of the spotlight just because he played alongside another elite safety in Brian Branch. Jordan Battle himself is also a really good prospect, in my opinion. Has some issues with tackling, but I think that is stuff that can be worked on through practice and technique with other pros. But yeah, I think he's a really, really solid candidate to fill in that safety void. Another guy I have been talking about a bunch is Julius Brents. I'm starting to see now too that he's kind of flying up people's boards. I see a lot of people jumping on the Julius Brents hype train. This is a guy that, anytime I see him getting passed along in conversation on Twitter, I always like to throw in that little caveat that this is a guy that the Eagles have had their eye on as well. This is a guy they've met with twice. There's only a handful of guys in this whole draft process that they've met with twice. And if you look at the Eagles and how they draft in the past, they tend to lean on that they've brought in and had conversations with. So I think Julius Brents is not only a lengthy corner and something that I would really like to see in filling in, as a third cornerback, but also, a guy that the Eagles, I believe, have their eyes on. And then finally, thank you, Mal, for turning me on to Cedric Tillman. I will give him that credit. Mal is the one that was telling me about him, but yeah, dude, he's an electric wide receiver, and just to be able to have the luxury of having AJ Brown and Devontae Smith on this team, and any wide receiver that we ask to come in here, whether it be Cedric Tillman or my boy Zay Flowers, you don't need to rely on them to be that key outlet for Jalen Hurts. When we brought in Jalen Reagor, we were kind of hoping and anticipating he was going to come in here and just be an elite type of wide receiver one, kind of from Jump Street. And obviously that did not work out well. I think that Cedric Tillman is a guy that can step in and gradually work into his role and eventually become a much better third option at wide receiver than Quez Watkins.
Interesting. The Cedric Tillman love is a lot of people. I mean, I was recently listened to PFF had
PFF had what?
Jawn LeBlanc.
I sent you the interview.
Yeah.
Jim Nagy. They had Jim Nagy on from the Senior Bowl talking about he said the same exact thing. All the love that Hyatt's getting, and why not Tillman? Obviously he dealt with some injuries, but a guy who attacks the ball when the ball's in the air, it's usually his bodies out defenders. I like his game. What else did you have in there?
Can I go real quick? Julius Battle. I like that decision.
Wait, Julius.
It's Brent. I'm sorry,
Brent.
I like that. I love that one. That was one I was actually looking at. I mean, a 6'3" corner, like,
bro,
dude, come on.
That's what I'm saying. We were just talking about that with Rasul too.
Yeah.
And Brent is a guy that I feel like it could have to do with him coming out of Kansas State. But I feel like he has picked up a lot of steam heading into this draft the past couple weeks. But he was really under everybody's radar leading up these past few months. So he's finally getting his flowers. But I think that
he got feet work too.
Yeah, he does.
Feet work. Yeah, he's got feet work. And you put him behind Bradbury and Derek and Slay, big play Slay,
and he can pick their brain and practice. Like by the time that those contracts are up, you got your next corner for the future.
Right, now, right. It's kind of weird how you have Greedy in there, though. It's gonna be kind of weird.
But again, long
all about
corners.
depth, though, man. All about depth. Yeah.
But then, if you talk about Julius Brents, if you look at his RAS score, it's the highest score you can get is 10. Julius Brent's RAS score was a 9.99 RAS score.
Yeah, he was like top 15 in cornerbacks that were rated on that system in the past, like since 87 or something.
Yeah, his project grade's like 6.2.
And if you don't think that teams look at these kind of things, we're talking about his composite grade for his size, elite, explosion for a guy that his size. To be able to move in the vertical, 41 and a half vertical. I mean, even the 3-cone drill. I mean, it's all elite.
I talked about too, comparing them to, and it's a loose comparison. It's more so just for size, is what I'm saying. But to Izzy McQuamu from the Cowboys, and dude, he went in the back end of the draft, and he is a solid contributor. I think he's a better prospect than Izzy McQuamu, and Izzy McQuamu gets solid reps in the Cowboy system, man. So I think if you can get a guy like him, he's a step above.
Ringo or Brent? Stats is asking.
I'll take Brent's all day. I'm not a Keely Ringo guy at all.
Wow. I don't like it. Yeah. I think I'm slightly a little higher on Ringo, but again, to me, it's like if you're going to develop these guys later, if you're finding your guys to develop, and Brent's is a guy, then that's the kind of corner you're looking for. Then so be it. That's how I went with some of my selections. But we're going to get to mine in a little bit. But again, I do
the
like
Ringo,
idea.
and honestly, it a lot of it has to do with just his combine performance. I mean, he did well in Georgia, but dude, it was an ugly showing at the combine, man.
Ryan mentions he's like, I think Battle's issues are less tackling technique, more recognition issues. He puts himself in such poor positioning when attacking ball carriers. Okay, shout out to Ryan.
So does James Bradbury.
True.
Daz is saying he wouldn't mind Kuntz. He says he's a stud. Wouldn't mind having him one bit tight end. Yeah, Sean also says out of Old Dominion 6'7", 255. He was in for interview. Again, my thing is it's time for a. If you look at the production out of tight end 2, when Dallas left, where was the production?
Calcaterra was never to be found. He was where's Waldo?
I think in the few opportunities Calcaterra got, he did all right. But I agree that like he's not a solid enough wide tight end too.
He didn't step up. He didn't step up the way we needed him to step up.
I agree.
We'll get to this player, but I just want to just bring it up real quick because I was like, he was on my, 94. Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss. He was doing his thing down at the Senior Bowl. He's a guy who's, he's a big target. He's had some production. I think his quarterback play at Ole Miss could play into, but I think Jonathan Mingo. Again, I didn't put him on. It was this close to Jonathan Mingo, so that's why I'm bringing up Jonathan Mingo. He's definitely. I think he's rising up people's boards as well. So check out Jonathan Mingo if you haven't, out of Ole Miss.
No, for sure.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with my 62.
Let's see it.
Should I go with mine or should I go with Hollis's?
No, go with
yours.
Let's go with the 3 that are here first, and then we'll go for the people that are at.
All right, you put me on the spot first.
Now, Zach Charbonnet, obviously, I've been talking about Zach Charbonnet as my safety valve on the idea if you're not going to go Gibbs or go, although I would love Gibbs, although I would love Bijan, Zach Charbonnet is my day 2 guy. I think he's the guy that, you talk about a bruiser with wiggle. I think he's got high character. He transferred from Michigan to UCLA, but to be closer to his family, his sister, she special needs. He wanted to be closer to her sister and his family, to be able to be around, and put up some great numbers at UCLA under Coach Chip Kelly, the guy that you all love. Now, DeJuan Jones. I'm talking about a guy with size. He was down at the Senior Bowl. He didn't last too long. Ended up got nicked up for a little bit. But again, he's the size. Once he gets his mitts on you, it's kind of I think he's not the most athletic dude in the world. He's doesn't have made a lot of feet, but I think he's a guy. If we're talking about developmental, or could be that swing for the Eagles, and get him in the mix, get him into Stoutland University, see what he can do and mold that clay. Now, Javon Dexter, he's a guy that once was one of the top prospects. I think he's a dude with size. He used to be a former basketball player. The problem is his get off is like, if he could get off early and often, like he would, he's always one of the last dudes to, after the snap count, he's a little bit behind. But then again, I think with his tools, he makes up for it. But I'd like to see him, if he was in part of the mix, I think he would be a guy you're not going to ask him to play. He did play a lot of snaps for Florida. He's a guy that he'd come in, you know, take care. He'd handle the gap integrity. I think he's a dude. He's a dude. I think he's a guy that you can develop. But I think if you don't go, if you go in a different direction, he's a guy that you can add to this line.
And he is coming into the draft as a senior, so he is getting off in some capacity.
So,
I do have I have one. Don Jones. I'm Jawn Jones. He's like 6'8", and he ran a 40 time of like 5'8", right? Yeah, my man, he got little wheels on him. He can move.
Jawn Jones is a really good prospect, and I agree with him at 62. He's a guy that I across mocks that nobody can say that those are 100% bulletproof. But I see him going top end of the second a lot of times. If he's sitting there at 62, I would definitely consider pulling the trigger on him. I mean, from a mass standpoint and bringing him into Stoutland University, I think there's a lot you could do with him.
Like I would love Osiris Torrance if we're like that pick number 30. If we're going to add a guard in the mix, that would be nice. He's got potential starting ability. I mean, also Avila from TCU. I was also thinking about him but I think he'll be gone by the time we get to pick 62.
Right
now, Ryan in the chat says Dexter been waiting for someone to speak on him. Very high on this guy. If someone can fix the energy level, my God, they'll have a destroyer. That's the thing, man. He's got the athletic traits. I mean, he played basketball as well. I think he's a guy like if they could get him to get off, he could be. I was going to ask. That was my question. I was going to ask Hollis tonight. Like, what? Like, is that something that you really can correct? Anticipation.
Or is that something you just come in naturally with as an instinct? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Joey's asking about Jair Brown out of Penn State. We're gonna get to him because I think somebody had picked him. Now Dad says you boys good with Paris Johnson at 10 if Carter is gone.
Nah.
I think he has played guard in his past. I think if you're talking about the versatile types, it's him and Skoronski. But I think I'd like to go a different direction.
I personally think, and me saying no so quickly isn't any sort of shot at Paris Johnson. I think he's an excellent tackle prospect coming in, and I think he's worthy of a top 15 selection. It just comes down to the fact that I think that with Stoutland University being headquartered in Philadelphia, taking a offensive lineman that high is really unnecessary. I think that you can fill another position with a top flight player, and you can get a guy later in the draft that Stoutland can develop into a solid offensive lineman.
Bingo.
Mark Bird says Darnell Washington. Interesting. We did talk about him a couple podcasts ago. It'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Do you think he's a first round pick, though? Do you think he's going to be a first round pick?
I think someone will reach on him, honestly.
I think so, too.
I mean, you really have to have a plan for him. Like, if you really want to elevate your running game, you can do some things with him on the edge. He's a sixth offensive lineman, perhaps.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen him hurdle some guys. That Oregon, shout out to Mark. He'll probably tell you about that Oregon game where he was bodying dudes, hurdling dudes, all in the same play. So I think it'll be interesting. Todd mentions Cody Mock at 62. Where's the love for the Gingers? We did bring him up in the last episode. Probably
he was getting a lot of hype from us early, and I feel like that's somewhat tapered off.
That was Prime's guy. Prime gave him some love.
Yeah,
I think he's going to end up going first round.
Yeah, he might go. I mean, you talk about versatile lineman, play tackle, but probably some people could see him as guard. Did to take some reps at center at the Senior Bowl.
Versatility.
So moving right on, why don't we get to Hollis's guys?
Yeah.
See, Hollis at 62. Hollis has Drew Sanders, linebacker from Arkansas. I do think Drew Sanders could go earlier, but I was talking to Tank. He says he loves his game. But again, Eagles linebackers. I'm thinking third round. That's where I feel like they'd probably feel comfortable drafting linebackers. Look at Nakobe Dean in the third round. He also went Jawn Jones, tackle out of Ohio State, same guy that mentioned. And then again, it's funny because I didn't tell him who I picked. He also went with Zach Charbonnet, running back, UCLA. So again, there's a lot of Charbonnet love in the second round. Again, DeJuan Jones again in the second round. So there's love there. We're gonna move right along to Mal's pick at number 62. Mal probably went with a prospect that looks sort of like him, JL Skinner, almost long, rangy,
Same height
out of Boise State. Followed up with Marvin Mims. There's been a lot of love for Marvin Mims in the chat, but wide receiver out of Oklahoma. And then again, Zach Charbonnet. This is, again, none of us talked about our picks, but a lot of love for Charbonnet in the second round. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Man, me and Mel's list is like kind of identical, so we just one guy off.
Now, who wants to go? Who wants to go next?
You want me to start off the 94?
Okay.
Do it.
I'm gonna read Ryan's chat here. He says, "Someone I'm high on Gale, and you may be able to speak on the Senior Bowl performance." Derek Hall. Derek Hall's been getting a lot of love as of late.
What's your thoughts on him? Are you giving him love?
But I'm more in love with getting, if we go, because this is where it falls for me, because I'm thinking that we're getting the edge earlier for me. So by the time we get here, this is where I'm on to some skilled dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with that. But Derek Hall has been getting some love. Charbonnet season.
It's Bijan season. Forget about
Bijan. Oh, Daz is certified.
Certified.
He's certified.
Put a stamp on it.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we at now? Well, let's go.
94. Evans
go with
94.
We'll go with Evans 94. Evans 94 here. Dead air.
And we'll be right back to you with these messages.
Now we're on the picks number 94, Evan Hearn. These are your dudes that you're looking at.
Yes, I am. I'm going to completely butcher the pronunciation of the first one. Henry Toto, something like that. Henry Henry Toto. I'm going with Toto.
I have no clue.
I'll try to get the right pronunciation.
Anyway, in Alabama, linebacker. What's not to like about that? He is extremely intelligent when it comes to playing. He is so intelligent that in Nick Saban's defense, he was essentially calling all of the plays. He was the play caller for them. The guy knows how to run a defense. And then I'm just thinking about pairing him up with another leader like Nakobe Dean, who we're expecting to come in and step up this year as the linebacker. So I'm just going to call him Henry next to Nakobe Dean. I think that could really solve a lot of our issues in the second layer of our defense.
So you want his pronunciation? It is To'o. So it's Henry
To'o.
Like if you step on your toe and you go, oh, and you step on your toe.
And then you do it again.
Oh, yeah. So it's Henry To'o.
Yeah. So, listen, sticking with the same sort of mentality that we've had in the past, couple of years, is stick with that SEC, man. Stick with Alabama, Georgia players. They have performed tremendously coming into this team. So just more of the same with Henry. How the fuck do you say it? To'o. Moving on to my running back, going with another Texas running back, not Bijan, but Roschon Johnson. Roschon is a guy that, if I can't get my Bijan sweepstakes in, I'm going for the other Texas running back. The guy he's a former quarterback before he was at Texas. To me, that says a lot. That says that he is able to, he knows how an offense operates. He's also a guy, I was between Roschon and Tank Bigsby for this spot. Tank Bigsby is another guy that I like. However, I just think that Tank Bigsby, while he may be able to just run you over with his brute size and force, Roschon is a very similar build, but he has been proven to be able to find the hole better. So I think that Tank is a solid prospect, but he just struggles to find that hole. Roschon Johnson behind this offensive line, I think, is a completely different story. And finally, I was thinking, as Gail said, a little bit outside the box with this last pick. Chandler Zavala out of NC State. In all 20 starts at NC State, he did not allow a single sack. You just think about putting him in here in between Kelsey and Lane Johnson. I think he'd be able to step in day one and immediately fill that void. Also, I want to just keep on developing Cam Jurgens as our future center. There's a lot of talk about, we don't know what to do at guard right now, so maybe we can swing Cam Jurgens out to guard and just kind of as a Band-Aid for this year while Kelsey's still playing. I would rather him just perfect Kelsey's role and really sit under his wing, even if that means that he has to sit on ice for another year. I think Zavala coming in as a natural guard would be a better option.
Interesting. Let's see. We had questions. Dad says, "Man, do I like Roschon?" Also, big favorite of Big Tank. But speaking of Tank, we had a question about Tank in the chat. What's your opinions on Tank Dell? Where do you think he goes? I think Tank Dell definitely goes around the third round. I think, or if someone's crazy about his game, he's a potential bottom of the second if they love how many touchdowns? What he had, like 25, 23 touchdowns in the red zone.
5'8", man, come on.
And you got juice, my guy. If you see one of his Jim Nagy posted one of his releases on some, he was doing like some dance, like he was like dance for revolution on some of these releases. I was like, dude. But he had like 23 red zone touchdowns.
That's huge.
He's got some juice and the special teams.
Yeah,
you're talking about special teams as well. Like he can give you that juice as well. Let's see.
So of my three picks there, who do you guys like the most?
I got put it back.
1 second. Right there.
I cannot say his name, but I like Henry.
To'o.
Yes, I mean you got a linebacker that's intelligent. No, calling defensive plays for saving. Like, come on, you can't go no wrong with that. And we don't really put that much stock into linebackers. So I think that was probably the one that stuck out to me.
Joey likes Henry. Mark says yes. Follow the SEC script.
Yeah, yes. and thinking about where the Eagles value linebackers. I mean, this is that third round pick. This is right in that striking distance of where we would expect the Eagles to be making a pick like that.
To'o.
That's how it's pronounced. Yeah, we've learned something. We've all learned something this year.
All Eagles fans will know how to pronounce that by August, hopefully.
Nah, we're gonna be calling them Big T.
Big Tizzle. Big Tizzle. Let's go with Tim's 94.
Yes, sir.
It'll be interesting. You're gonna recognize one of the last names of these dudes. But here we go. Tim's number 94.
Yeah, so I went with Nick Herbert, the brother of the other Herbert.
Nate
Herbert. And both of them start with an N. Herbig, sorry. Herbig. I mean, this is somebody that can just, I think he's 6'3", 6'4". Let me get his stats up real quick. He had 11 sacks last season, along with 15 tackles for loss, and two forced fumbles. Um, he can play the Sam linebacker role. The Eagles defense, and could come up with Hassan for a break. And put him on the left side too. Shoot, go get him. Go get that quarterback.
He's definitely the better of the Herbigs, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I went kind of linebacker heavy. Appreciate you. Thank you. So I went Demarion Overshown. I don't even know what I can say about this bull right here. I just like his game. I really do. I like his game. I mean, solo tackles. He had like 49. He 4 sacks. He can just run. The kid can run. He's like
man.
Yeah. And he's like 6'4", 224. He's jacked up. So he's like a gazelle, man. I don't know, man. I think he's my favorite linebacker coming out of Texas. And I can see him coming in the third round. So that was the reason why I was real big on him. And then last but not least, Joey King. I see you. Because see in the comments, man. Brown from safety from Penn State. Come on, man. We've been watching him all year. He's a playmaker. But I think with him though, I think he would be a great fit in Philadelphia because you have 2 corners that are already great. You know what I mean? And he can learn from there, and he'd be somebody that's make some plays. I think he would be a great pick at the pick 94. What do you guys think?
I completely agree with you. I mean, I love the Jair Brown pick here. Just thinking about same sort of thing that I just said about where the Eagles value linebackers and safeties. I think it's pretty much in the same sort of round. I think that this is the perfect sort of striking distance to draft a guy like Jair Brown, and I think that he's a guy that can come in here and fill that void year one, be a year one starter in this secondary.
Correct.
Interesting. Now moving right along, I will go with my 94 Till.
Good day, Bob.
If you know, you know. Let's see. My 94. So in theory, this is where I'm like I just said recently about like getting my skill guys late. We hit the trenches early and often because that's what we do in Philly. Now Jaden Reed is a guy who I didn't really know. I didn't really know a lot about his game. When I got down to the Senior Bowl, he's the guy that was lighting shit up. Had a wide array of releases. He was doing whatever he wanted to do on the field. But Jaden Reed has impressed me as well. I'm just thinking about a lot of the mocks that we've been doing. If you go back to a lot of the mocks we've done, I've sprinkled a little bit of Jaden Reed into every single mock. Talk about special teams. Go back and see some of his returns. He's definitely got some. He's definitely electric there. But again, we're talking about upgrading the wide receiver back end of the group. Can we have a wide receiver 5 or a guy wide receiver 4 that can actually give you something as a wide receiver and special teams? You can put a Covey and you can put a Quez, and can we find that in one guy? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And not for nothing, but you look at his draft profile, you see who he is. His pro comp is
who?
Greg Ward.
Really
interesting.
Yeah.
The only thing I say about Reed was like his 21 season was he was killing it. In 2022, what happened? Like he wasn't getting the ball enough. Like that's the only thing.
He was lighting it up in Senior Bowl, boy. Now there's a whole bunch of different guys that I was fighting. I was talking about earlier, Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss, who was definitely I could see a guy that if you're trying to get maybe a dude that come in here, the big body, then I could see a Mingo. But my guy, I went with Tank Bigsby. This is again, if you're not going to get a running back in the second, you're moving back to the third, you want to hit on a running back there. I think Tank Bigsby is a guy. He's like a Cadillac with the sun down on Sundays. His game is smooth. He's a guy that he's a slasher. I feel very comfortable about bringing him in this mix. You know, again, you're talking about running back by committee. I think he'd be, you know, a decent ad in the third round. Now, Corey Trice.
I got to stop you there real quick. I thought Cadillac was an interesting choice of words there. Is there any reason that you said Cadillac?
Because he's easy like Sunday morning.
He's like Sunday morning. And shout out to Cadillac Williams from
Who's
Auburn.
been training him? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been helping train him. Yeah, that's why I thought you were going there. Yeah,
that's why. Yeah, me too. I thought you was going there. That's why I said it's easy like Sunday morning. Cadillac Williams.
You know, I was definitely surprised by his game when I was just like, who is this cat? Like his game though. There's a couple guys. Tyjae Spears from Tulane. I think there's potential that he could go earlier than expected. But Tyjae Spears from Tulane, I think his juice is at an all-time high right now. But it's been boiling. So I went with Corey Trice again. I'm going off the same ilk as you, Ev, in the big long corner.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Trice has dealt with a lot of injuries. He had an ACL. I know he was dealing with a recent groin injury as well. But I think he's also a developmental, in terms of versatility, he came in as a safety, top safety prospect. So he's got safety, cornerback, maybe with potential versatility, long corner, man. I think he's a guy that you can develop. And at the mid rounds, this is where I think you can start adding guys in to develop. You know, we got like a 2-year period, but again, if you're gonna not go corner early, Corey Trice, the Brents of the world, these are the guys that I think you take a flyer on, take a gamble.
What is your guys' honest opinion on what you think ends up happening with the safety position? Do you think it is more likely that we draft a safety to start, or do you think it's more likely that we move Avante to safety and more so draft a slot corner?
I would have to go. I'm thinking that they're going to draft a safety this year. I'm at least the third and fourth round.
I agree.
Somewhere, that's the meat. That's the meat and potatoes, right? Those are the guys that should be on the field. I was saying this on the podcast, a couple weeks ago. Right now is time to draft guys in your first round, second round, third round. Those guys should be on the field. You know what I mean? No more guys building for the future. We have to start trusting Jordan Davis. We got to start putting out Nakobe Dean. We got to start those guys out there. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be somewhere around there, though.
Yeah. And I agree. My question was, do you think it is more likely for the Eagles to fill that safety position with Avonte Maddox and then drafting a slot corner to fill his role? Or do you think they draft a safety to start and keep Avonte in the slot?
Nah, I think you keep Avonte in the slot. I think that's where he wins.
Yeah,
I agree.
The fact that you have that versatility, that's nice.
And then Terrell Emmons was signed.
Edmonds, Terrell Emmons. Yeah. Again, that's where Avonte wins. So why mess with that?
I agree.
But one thing about Avonte though, he's kind of injury prone. So you got to think about that in the long run when it comes to that depth position that that the Eagles like to build on.
Right.
So that's
exactly where a guy like Corey Trice would be perfect because he could kind of fill either role there.
Yeah,
but they love Josiah Scott. They love Scott though. They love Scott.
They do.
Bob from Down Under said, "Don't forget safety Blanky. Blankenship."
Oh, that's a shirt right there. You just put him in in a brown, have a blankie behind him,
wrapped up.
My thing with Blankenship, everyone's like, the same thing about Epps. We didn't know what Epps truly was until we knew him as a rotational guy.
Epps last year, I believed in him.
Right, we believed in the idea of it, but we had to again, you still have to bring guys in. Just like Blankenship. I'm bringing more guys in to compete. So
I know this is a little bit off the rip, right? But there's still some free agents out there that I would like for the Eagles to bring in, and he's a little older. I like Harris Jr. Chris Harris Jr. I would like to bring in somebody like that in that slot position. You know what I mean, to help out. I mean, he's been there, done that. He's been there, done that. But he's no longer outside. That's done.
Right.
But, you know what I mean. But he still has the technique to be able to play in the inside.
Well, would you say that you're getting a little bit greedy? Greedy Williams? That was a greedy Williams.
I mean, Greedy gets forgotten about. You know, right now you got Zach, you got Greedy.
Yeah.
Add another
Greedy's
one.
Greedy's more of an outside corner. He's been.
Yeah, but he's not going to be playing outside corner on this team. Not with Bradbury in play here.
Yeah, he'll be a backup though. He's going to be a backup.
My thing is the whole thing with Lito Shepherd. You draft Lito Shepherd. You draft Sheldon Brown a year before. They sat marinated. I get that. And the other thing is, I don't even want to say it, but having that depth, I mean, it could easily, it could be a problem if you don't have.
Justin Evans is another name I forgot about.
Yes, I forgot about Justin Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's more of a safety, special teams, and he's injury too. He's injury riddled too.
Yeah,
injury prone.
Yeah.
Did he have Achilles?
Something like that. Yeah, I believe so.
I wasn't. Who was available? Was it Keanu Neal that was available?
Yeah, he ended up going. He went for a visit and then went to go sign. I think. Where did he go? Atlanta? No, not Atlanta.
No, he was in Atlanta last year.
He was in Atlanta last year. He visited, but he signed with somebody else. I can't remember off the top.
I want to say like Seattle, but I might be wrong.
Yeah. Now, Bob from Down Under says they nailed the UDFA last year. The scouting group under Brandon Hunt did great work.
Yeah,
secondary last. And if you've been listening to this pod long enough, you know that Brandon Hunt is the guy that I've been dying for them to have for years and years. Finally got him, plucked him away from the Steelers, and now hopefully he's the dude.
And one thing that I think not a lot of people know about too is that, do you guys remember the infamous Milton Williams draft video where Howie Roseman went for the fist bump and then got shunned?
Yeah.
The guy that dude wanted was Contavious Street, who's the defensive tackle that we signed. Yes. So it's funny how things come full circle like that.
Yeah. Street Street didn't even end up playing his rookie year. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And then, Milton Williams has been, he contributes to that.
He's been a solid contributor.
Yeah, he contributes to the 80 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right along to we'll go with Hollis's 94.
Go for it.
Let's see Hollis's 94 in here. So Hollis went with Evans linebacker from Alabama, Henry To'o. Love that pronunciation. His running back in the third round, he went with Roshan Johnson, a guy who's been talking up tremendously. Doesn't have a lot of miles, so at the end of the day, no pun intended. Rashee Rice, wide receiver out of Rice. He's a guy that killed it down at the Senior Bowl.
Would you say, though, that like Miles Sanders didn't have a lot of miles coming at, no pun intended, out being behind Saquon Barkley, and then he kind of was still injury prone?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Rashee Rice out of SMU. I put Rashee Rice. Sorry, I knew the graphics.
Rice.
He's from SMU. He's a guy that Tank's been talking about a long time. Now, moving on to Mal Davis's 94. Went with another name pronunciation that got, I think, Evan the last show. Israel Abanikanda from Pitt, running back. He's a guy with some juice. Might run a little high. Might, the contact balance. But again, he's got juice. I like his game. He's a dude that I would draft on day 3. He's another dude, and then another dude that coincidentally, me and Mal both picked Corey Trice, cornerback from Purdue.
Is he different from the Corey Trice from Texas that you had up on that other?
Did it say Texas?
Yeah.
Did it say Texas?
It did.
See, when I asked you guys to get graphics in early, so I don't want to rush.
Nah, yeah.
I didn't want to say nothing, but I was like,
I mean, but here we go. We got Purdue here. Diane Hunley, linebacker at Washington State, was Mal's. He's another dude I have to watch more on. Diane Hunley.
Yeah, no, he's another guy that like I've seen just a wide window of where he's been selected. I've seen him as high as like in the 30s all the way down to the 100th pick. So he's a guy that I think that a lot of people in the masses don't understand exactly where he's going to go. The NFL teams probably have a better idea.
Joey says Toto or bust. Pete says Tank loves him some Roshan Johnson. Joey, he says Banny is cool, or you can call him Izzy, if how
Izzy.
closer you are to Israel. Look who's in the chat. Mal is in the chat here. Mal is in the chat, man. Mal says Henley is a good one. Mal says,
"Yo, Mal, I was just telling the boys about how I turned you on to Cedric Tillman, Mal. So you're welcome."
He gave you props. He did give you props, Mal. He gave you props.
Now Bob says, I don't see us going near cornerback. We got Josh Jobe, Goodrich, Zek, and Greedy. Hey man, if they look Marcus Goodrich from
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't see us going corner because we've got Josh Jobe, Goodrich, Zach McPherson, and Greedy Williams.
I say this room has, I think,
got a big bundle of maybes.
There's room to add one more in here.
You think one more to add, huh?
I will say though, to just play devil's advocate to what I was just saying, Josh Jobe is a guy that I've been coming on here and saying, watch out for year 2 of Josh Jobe. I think he's a guy that kind of just got pushed to the back of the depth chart because of how deep we were at corner last year. Don't forget, there's another Alabama guy, man, Josh Jobe. I think he's a solid cornerback and at least worthy of a roster position in this league rather than being a practice squad guy.
Oh, so you like him? You pick him over Josiah Scott?
Jobe? I mean, I'm not. The thing is with that is that like I'm not there watching the practices, watching the development. If they're throwing Josiah Scott out there on Sundays, I have to take their word for it that they think that he is more developed at that point. Right. But I think that Josh Jobe, how old is Josiah Scott? Like, I don't think they're the same age. Scott's been in the league for a few years.
25 in a Tybo class.
25 in a Tybo class. I think Josh Jobe is, still young, developing.
Like 22 or something like that.
I think he's got a higher ceiling than Josiah Scott.
I think Josh Jobe can play safety.
Yeah, that's what Pete's saying too. Yep.
Let's see. Josiah Scott is 24 in that Tybo class.
Okay. He played great against that Saints game. He played okay.
I mean, he made some plays. Like again, as much as people kill him, I do remember a couple plays where I was like, all right, you got to give him love for making a play.
And he was thrown under fire a couple times. He was
for sure.
Jobe is 25. Mal says. Who cut me open? I believe Green says, "Who's the biggest draft bust
in this draft?"
I mean, in general,
in all drafts, I'm gonna go Jamarcus Russell.
I was gonna say, but he was on that. He was on that purple drink. His uncle had passed away.
Dude, my favorite Jamarcus Russell story
Ryan Leaf
is Ryan Leaf's a good one too. But I was gonna say when Jamarcus Russell got the playbook, that was the blank.
He put the
money in it. So what'd you think of that? And he was saying how he loved it. And like, yeah, that was blank, dude. you didn't look at shit.
Yeah.
Biggest draft up. Marcus Smith's up there, man. Again,
hell yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, well, first of all, I knew he was gonna be bust when he was wearing a woman's Gucci shoes. I knew he was gonna be a bust from the jump. I just knew he was gonna be a bust. But my bust would be Johnny Manziel. He was a bust.
Dude, he says Danny Watkins.
Yeah.
Hey man, there was a read. I don't want to make you feel bad for bringing up Marcus Smith now, but mental health, man. It was a big. There's a story where he's sitting there in his car talking about driving his car off a cliff.
Marcus Smith.
Just the level of like where his mentals. I mean, again, it's just like Man, some of these there's a lot we don't know about what's going on behind the scenes. Mal will jump in and says the biggest bust
He does
is going to
Gronk,
be
bro.
Skaronski.
For
I hope he
me,
don't
I'm,
get
I'm
picked
gonna
up
I'm
too.
gonna go with a guy that I've kind of just been continually talking down, and it's no shot against him. It's just I think that he was ranked higher than he should have been. That's Ringo, and I'm not saying that Ringo I don't think is going to be in this league. I think that he's going to end up going first round, possibly high second, and I think his value is more of like a fourth or fifth.
We got a big Van Nope, who is also Van Ness. Bust wise,
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know, man. I'm also I still need to know what Miles Murphy is. I don't.
You're not high on Brian Breesy either. Miles Murphy.
No,
And
I think Brian. He's coming off injury. Also, his sister was dealing with passed away from brain cancer. He had a rough year, dude. Coming back from the ACL. But he came on at the end of the year. But I think Breesy again later on, back end of the first, maybe top end of the second. Damn.
Wow.
Bopping down is Bryce Young.
Damn, off the ropes.
Wow.
He coming off the ropes. Damn, Bryce Young, right?
Interesting.
Who do you guys think ends up being the first quarterback selected?
Stout.
It could be CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of getting this feeling that Reich's gonna reach for Richardson, bro.
The whole I see a lot of people saying Richardson first now.
I think it's possible.
No.
I think Reich likes him, man. But it's not like I'm sitting here listening to Carolina sports talk. I don't know.
But we all can agree though the best quarterback is CJ, right?
I think it's between Bryce and CJ. I think it's a kind of a pick your poison type thing. I think they're both going to be great.
See, I feel like CJ is way more accurate. He can pick up in that ball placement. He's got that.
Yeah.
And he's just a little bit. No disrespect. I'm not participating. No, first of all, I'm not saying.
Well, you think CJ Stroud's best game was his last game? You mean when you put up a game like he put up, then everyone's like, well, he just put it on tape.
Mm-hmm. Jamarcus Russell drove a Rolls Royce through an automatic car wash.
Ryan says, I will die on this hill that Emmanuel Forbes is the bust of this draft. Depending on where he's drafted, the luck this man has is unbelievable with those INTs. Again, the weight, he's built like a R&B backup dancer. 166.
He's 166, man.
That's crazy.
Dude, skinnier than Smitty. Put that in your mind.
Teams will run at him. I mean, he's got some juice though. We'll see.
I mean, they're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing about Weatherspoon too, as well. They're saying he's not. He's only 180 pounds.
Cousin Kiki says Bryce. Okay. Best quarterback, Bryce.
What do you guys think is going to be the best value pick in this draft? A guy drafted in later rounds that you think is probably a day 1, day 2 guy.
Tajay Spears.
I was gonna say Mo Ibrahim.
I
think Mo Ibrahim is a guy that is. I mean, if you look across the different draft sites, the mock draft sites, they have him going like 6th, 7th round. Dude, I think he's like a 3rd, 4th round guy.
He had an Achilles injury, didn't he?
Yeah, he's coming off an injury.
Interesting. Oh, how about Will Levis?
Will Levis? He's a guy that I was kind of
bust here. No one's saying bust.
He kind of flew up the draft boards out of nowhere in the beginning. He's stuck around, man.
I mean, people love Levis has been talked about for a minute, but everyone's wondering why he's getting thrown up here.
Drake.
You taking Mal's guys?
Huh? We're not like the same people. I give Mal credit whenever he turns me on to a guy.
You should listen to Mal.
What we also should listen to.
Mal should listen to me about Bijan. You hear that, Malcolm?
I listen to Mal. I listen to you, Mal. I miss my guy.
We should also listen to Philly Sports Trips. Philly Sports Trips out here who's doing the Lord's work when it's talking about traveling to games. They set you up with the, whether it's driving a bus all the way to see the Phillies or flying across country to see the Eagles, or just having a tailgate at the Phillies, to watch the Phillies outside of the stadium. Doing a big at the casinos over there. Shout out to Philly Sports Trips. Make sure you go to phillysportstrips.com. Give them a follow at Sports Trips PHL for more information. But shout out to Vince, man, doing the damn thing.
Yes, sir.
He's doing it.
We're gonna do our damn thing.
Oh God. Oh yeah. If we do a quick one. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Bud Light. Bud Light always holding us down during every single tailgate, doing the Lord's work in terms of providing the suds for the people. Conshohocken Italian Bakery celebrating 50 years of being awesome. Shout out to them for supplying the tomato pies.
Always killer tomato pies.
And then the artwork is ridiculous.
I also love whenever you get some out of towners coming in trying the tomato pie and you turn them onto it because they cold pizza. There's no cheese on it. Where's the cheese at? You're like, just trust me.
Especially the ones from California.
Yeah. It's
good. They always show up and I'm like, I feel like this is the gateway
gateway pizza
tomato pie. They taste it and like, wow.
Yo, my wife came. I think it was like the first tailgate. We've been tailgating together for a long time now.
Right.
But my wife first came. My wife's like, "What is this?" I was like, "It's cold pizza. It's like cold pizza. It's tomato pie." But she's like, "What?" She had it. She was like, "I don't even like tomatoes. I like this." I said,
You see that? Now I'm in the same boat. I'm not a tomato guy either, but tomato pie. The sauce is it's sweet.
Yeah,
complements
sweet.
the
That's what I said.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Gets to the chef.
Yep.
Compliments to the chef.
Exactly.
All right, for you crazies out there, again, we're gonna do a mock because
I need you to sound more excited about it.
I haven't eaten in a long time. First time in a long time. Okay, first time in a long time. I'm gonna bring up my screen here, share my screen so we can do this mock for the people.
You paying for PFF or do we got to we got to hijack Mal's laptop for the mock?
Todd says we got a troll in the chat. Where's the moderator? Because someone keeps on saying mock. Shout out to Drew in the chat. He says, "Dag, late to the party. Sup, everyone?"
What up?
Dang.
Now Ryan says, "Steal of the draft may end up being Darnell Wright. If you want someone who can do the unteachable, it's him. Couldn't help be reminded of Lane with some of his mannerisms." The funny thing is, I watched Darnell Wright versus Will Anderson. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Darnell Wright took his lunch money on some reps, and I was like, Darnell Wright is doing the damn thing. And again, he will do the damn thing in the DMs if you talk badly of him. Someone mentioned there's like he has no right playing left tackle, and it was kind of like he was trying to pump up the prospect. He wasn't like some guy on Twitter. He was just saying he should play right tackle, and he jumped in his DMs like, bro, you have no right coming here and tell me what I should play and what I shouldn't play. Blah blah blah. I was like, hold up, Jalen Reagor. You gotta fall back a little. The guy was kind of trying to give you love that he should be your right tackle selection.
Does him being kind of a tweener is what just makes me hesitant about Darnell Wright. I don't even know where to select him, just because I don't know whether he's a tight end or if he's a tackle.
No, you're talking about Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington. You're right. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I mixed up my Darnells.
I mean, I did it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
First of all, he brought up Jalen Reagor, so that
threw me off.
You in my DMs?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta show some self-control before you get drafted first, then jump in the DMs. because teams do look at this. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up my screen here for you in a second. Oh, here we go. Hold on 1 second. My bad. Talk amongst yourselves.
So, King, are you out on the West Coast? How's Arizona treating you?
It's already 100. It's already 102.
Already 102. Jesus
It's
Christ,
already
man.
102. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you guys be talking about it's a dry heat out. I will give you that though. The heat out
Dry
there it's better than being moist as hell over here.
I'm telling you.
He said,
Um,
How is it back home in Philly? I miss
Dude,
home.
the weather has become tremendous. It's a spring wonderland out here. Except we're in full blown allergy season. So.
Oh, yeah.
bro.
Oh, did you mean football talk, Gail? That's my bad.
It's I went to the Phillies game. I left with 2 outs, 9th inning. Me and
Why?
Amanda were like, because I was trying to beat traffic here. I'm watching. I was like, by the time we got to the car and got around the corner, the Phillies lost the game. I
Couldn't
said,
just
"Come
sit
on,
in the
man."
seat.
I
Couldn't
said,
just
"Come
sit
on,
in
man."
your seat.
I said, "Come on, man." I said, "Come on, man." I was very upset. Looks like Evan is about to run to the men's room. So it's just me and you for right now.
Let's go.
Mal says I'm a fake Phils fan. What? Because I left early? Because I beat the traffic? I'm a professional
Hey,
going to the.
don't
I'm a
blame you.
professional going to the game and getting in my car and beating traffic. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. They did speed up the game. I do like the game how they put the time, the man in the box and stuff like that. So it's like baseball on steroids. I love it.
Mal, if you want to jump in, I sent the link to your email. The link is in your email, my guy. Let's see. Dead air.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to pull a Hollis Thomas and use the little mock drafters room.
Now, Mal says he's going to actually jump on to join the crew on this one.
Wow! So we will have
his wife's birthday, and he's going to jump on.
Oh boy, come on! What you doing? Hey, you're
man.
talking to a seasoned vet of marriage right here. Don't do that.
Right, says look. The only Phil's game I didn't leave early. I got my nose broken, so okay.
You want to know about the worst Phillies game I ever end up walking out of? Dude, I'm an idiot. I left early before the infamous Bryce Harper grand slam. Do you remember that game where he hit the walk off grand slam? I fucking left early.
What kind of degenerate leaves?
Hey, hold up! Was that the one where you put the peanuts in the Yingling?
Oh, that's every baseball game I go to.
No, but that's the pictures you put on Twitter. Everybody was barking at you, boy.
No, that was a day game. That one that I went to was another time with at night.
Nutty beer. Hey, Nutty beer. Mal said he's going to join us. I'm still waiting for him.
Oh, Mal.
Shout out to my brother Dwayne. Phillies are down 3-0.
What's up, Dwayne?
What's up, big bro?
See you, bro. Yeah, and we also got the NBA play-in tournament tonight. You guys gonna be watching that at all?
Yep.
NBA up. You don't care,
Who's
guys?
playing?
Sure. So you
Hawks
got Toronto. You got
and-
Toronto versus the Bulls.
Yeah.
LA versus. Oh man, I had it all in.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just like playoff basketball, man. I don't care who's playing.
If Mal jumps in, he jumps in. Mal, we sent you the mock. For those who are listening to the podcast, we're about to do this mock real quick to close out the show. That's what we've been doing as of late. I might not sound excited.
Well, we gotta do something because I'm starving. Dinner has not been eaten.
Select window. Just here we go.
Hey, here's Mal.
Hey, we'll bring Mal in for this.
Where's Mal?
I'm looking at a ceiling fan right now.
Nice. You're such an adult.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
What happened there? We lost King. Oh my God, it's Inception. Malcolm.
You.
Are we good? Are we good here?
I mean, that looks bizarre. There we go.
I just came to yell at Hollywood. You feel me? I just came in here.
Hey, dude, I'm glad that I can spread the knowledge with you, Mal. Give you a whole list of players to look at.
I told my wife, I was like, "Yo, hold on, I'm about to go ahead and just yell at this man real quick. Give me like 5 minutes."
All right, you guys ready to rock this mock out?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna start off here, and we're entering the draft.
Do we have any particular theme we're looking for with this one, or we just
let's let it come. Let's let it come.
All right, take it easy there. Pause.
Pause.
All right, we got Bryce Young going first. Richardson going to the Texans. Anderson, hello, Mr. Anderson, going to the Cardinals. C.J. Stroud going to the Colts. Number 4, Tyree Wilson going to the Seahawks. Skoronski going to the Lions. Jalen Carter going to the damn Raiders. Will Levis going to the Falcons. Christian Gonzalez going off the board at number 9 to the Bears. And the Eagles, we're on the clock. Devin Witherspoon on the board. Quentin Johnson, JSN, wide receiver from Ohio State. Kalijah Cansey, Lucas Van Ness, Dalton Kincaid, Deontay Banks, Brian Bench, Joey Porter, Paris Johnson. Wow, Darnell Wright. There's a lot of dudes. Nolan Smith.
What's our trade looking like?
Let's go, JSN.
Ooh, you got Miles Murphy up there too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got a trade offer from the
22.
Ravens, 22, and 28 with the Bengals. I think that's too far for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit far for me as well.
Is the chat agreeing that it's too far for them?
I'm seeing Spoon. I'm seeing Paris Johnson. I'm not seeing anybody saying the trade back. So I'm
Kalijah Cansey.
Cansey at 10 is kind of high.
We got Nolan Smith here.
Why is that 10 is a lot, bro? Take JSN, my boy.
Oh, I didn't see Nolan Smith. My bad.
Nolan Smith.
I didn't see him.
Take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Switch it up. Do something different, bro.
I'd be down for some JSN, but like you know for a fact that it's not gonna happen, dude. I just don't see the Eagles taking him at 10.
Like in this scenario, I think if I could move back and get JSN, I'd do it at 15.
Take Bijan at 10. I'm just here for descent, bro.
I will only move back from 19. That's the farthest I'm moving back.
Yeah. There's enough dudes for us to say. I mean, 22. That's 12 players off the board here.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna leave you with probably most of those offensive lines, a couple offensive linemen, and like Jahmyr Gibbs.
But that's the only.
Be there.
And that would be Phil. What happened?
There go your boy.
Bijan.
That Bijan.
I can't go.
I'm with Mal to switch it up a little bit.
You want to go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying JSN at 10.
I'm
also
that
wide receiver room cooking.
Am I the only person that likes Lucas Van Ness?
Yes.
Oh, baby. brother.
I like him.
Quickly, do me one favor. Explain to me what he does well.
He got a motor.
Okay.
He's got a motor.
Aside from a motor,
that. You can't teach that.
Bull rush.
You can't teach a motor, but he should have also learned technique at some point. And so
we're in the middle.
He works real hard.
Y'all want to go on
You know what I hear.
He about to go
Van Ness. You might as well tell me Skoronski at this point.
So why don't we go with Nolan Smith?
All right, go Nolan. You ain't gonna hear me arguing it.
Like that pick.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the conductor of that Nolan at 10. So
would you trade up now? I guess that's moving way too fast to move up.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't trade up.
I would have loved to move back, to be honest, but
I mean,
so on the board we have Anton Harrison, Will McDonald, Michael Mayer,
Is Tanner McKee still around?
Emmanuel Forbes, Falik, and Aduke, Uzoma,
There
BJ
you go.
Ojulari.
Yeah, Ojulari here. Got some good
Bill
ones,
high
man.
for Dewan.
DeJuan Jones.
High.
Oh, Cam
I mean,
Smith
What
is still there.
are the trade
on.
back options here?
Look at that. Cam Smith is still there.
Yo, Cam Smith
Okay.
is that. Yo, you watched Cam Smith versus Tennessee in 2022 versus Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt.
Cooked.
He got cooked.
Yo,
I say this.
He's real handsy though. He's real handsy.
Raiders got a
He's a
bunch of
boys-
picks, don't they?
the boys get him the
Hey,
workout.
Yeah, he's real handsy.
Cardinals offered the 34th pick. We were sitting at pick 30.
Don't the Raiders got a lot of picks? I feel like we're not going to get much in return for moving back 4 spots.
Yeah.
I saw the Cardinals. Cardinals?
No,
I'm
he's
saying
saying
the Raiders.
38 with the
I'm saying
Raiders.
38 with the Raiders. What do they have available?
$38, $70, and $100.
70 and 100 and one on. Okay.
Cardinals have 34, 66, 96, 105.
They might do like 35 and 96. I don't see that. They probably not going to do but so much to go back a couple or go up a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, 34, 66.
This man, go.
30 and 94.
He think he Howie in here.
Try 34 and 66 for
Gail,
30 and 62.
Gail think he got Jedi mind tricks, bro. He be trying to rock PFF computer.
Let's go. We'll see what the Raiders have to. We'll get 38.
This is what this man just
You didn't even
said.
see. Ignore.
We'll get pick number. They're not giving up 70. They'll give up 100, 109. Want to try that?
Man, that's a 5th-year option at that pick. You got to give up more than that.
That's a valid point.
Trying.
Man, just take it at 30, bro. Pause.
You're thinking too hard here.
Yeah, like why we? Ew.
Yo, Mal over here being a bully.
It's accepted.
I told you I came on here for the scent and destruction, bro. That's it.
All right, so
Mal trying to be Thanos.
we traded back to
Who
traded
do
back
we-
to pick 38.
We take Nolan Smith. Josh Downs is there.
Forbes was off the board.
Yeah, Josh Downs ain't a bad one right there.
Adetomiwa Adebawore, Michael Mayer went off the board. Forbes went off the board. Will McDonald, DeJuan Jones, Cam Smith. What you guys thinking here?
Cooley?
Got your boy. We probably don't need another.
Yeah, we already got an edge. I'm not big on Laporta personally.
some
Felix?
FS nobody want that. Is that baby leg? Stop trying to give us that baby leg.
Baby legs.
He went.
Avila?
Adetomiwa went pick 30.
Bro,
I thought you were saying Dell.
Avila's still there.
Talking about the one that run like a baby, not one that look
Talking
like
about
that.
Dell?
You better start
No,
showing
no.
some love.
You talking about what's the Northwestern defensive end? I can't say that. Man.
Adetomiwa Adebawore.
Jameer Gibbs still there?
Oh,
Yeah, right there.
here
Bang
we
it.
go.
Ooh, I'm
Bang.
going Gibbs. I'm
Bang
going
it.
Gibbs right there.
Let's go. We're now
Brent's
on
available.
the clock at
Yo,
62.
see? Nah, see,
I'm
if
going
Cedric Tillman, bro.
Right there.
We got
Hey, my guy
we
Nick.
got-
There go my guy Nick.
we got Tank Dell on the board. We have Garrett Williams.
See if Tillman's still up here, bro.
Nick Herbig, linebacker edge out of Wisconsin. Siaka Ika.
Bro, you can't
Michael
tell
Wilson.
me like guys from Wisconsin, like a linebacker, they can't ball.
Yeah.
I like
we
Herbig.
already
man.
got Nolan Smith.
I like Herbig.
Edge.
Herbig.
Yeah, I like Herbig. Herbig it's another motor, but he actually has skills to match with the
He
motor.
does. He does. Right.
It's not just going and trying very hard. That is the NFL, bro. Once they get their hands on you, all that try hard stuff go out the door.
We got
Our next
Ryan's,
pick is
Derek
94,
Hall
so
on
we're
the
not.
board.
All these other guys are going to be off the board.
Yeah,
real
all this stuff
quickly,
is
so,
gone.
Do we get a we got a
see-
running back?
See if Cedric Tillman is up there, bro. Just out of curiosity.
I like Zavala personally.
That's his boy.
Yeah.
That's his boy. Uh-oh.
Oh, bro, come on, what we doing?
Hey, this guy.
What
What is the
playing
chat
around?
saying? What is the chat
Uh,
saying right now?
Tank
The
Dell,
chat
DJ
saying goes
Turner.
mild, bro. The
I
chat
like
you know,
Dell. I like Dell.
It's early.
it's all
Garrett
over
Williams.
the place.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't.
I think he'll be there at the fourth round though.
I
Tank,
think
Tank will probably
he's
be
third.
there once you get to 94.
So you
He
think
should be.
so?
He'll be gone.
PFF hates him, son.
So what do you want to do here? You said Herbig, or you want to go?
I'll go in Herbig. That was my pick.
I like Chandler as well.
Yeah, Chandler Zavala, Jordan Battle, I'm big on.
Jordan Battle wouldn't be a bad option
You
either.
got Carl Brooks here still.
You got yourself a starting safety in Jordan Battle. Take him here.
Got Cedric Tillman, the best wide receiver in the draft.
Where's Brown?
Sidney Brown's right there. He's where Cedric Tillman was.
No.
Man, this draft is killing me right now.
Just go Tank, bro.
Bro, if we had to hand our
This
ticket
early?
in, we would get fined.
Hold up.
I would love to get Tank.
Why would you go Tank over Cedric Tillman?
Because everybody's saying Tank. I don't really care either way. I think Cedric Tillman is the better player, but I think Tank could be explosive in this offense either way.
We got one person saying Tank. I say I mean these were my guys, but I say Zavala or Battle here.
If we're gonna stay true to some of the guys that you brought up today,
that's what I just said.
Yeah,
Cedric Tillman.
That was another guy I brought up today.
Wide receiver.
All right, we're going Cedric Tillman, wide receiver.
Bang bang.
Just to stay true to
you just killed the draft, bro. You won the draft.
Zavala,
right
take him. Zavala, take him.
Have you really watched? You watched this film?
I haven't done the deep dive, but I've watched like the preliminary. You're not in on it?
No, I like Zavala.
Yeah,
I'm just busting your balls.
Yeah.
Got Corey Trice right there.
Yeah, Corey Trice.
I was about to say that. Yeah, Trice right there.
Or you could go Zavala Trice. It's 94 and 100. I don't think Zavala falls.
All right, we're gonna go with Zavala here. And then follow up with Corey Trice.
Yeah.
Trice.
I like that one. If Kendre's still there at 109, that might be one too.
We already got Jameer.
Oh, that's right. Well, they different backs though.
Yeah.
Got your guy Trevius Hodges Tomlinson.
Yeah, you know that's my man's right there.
Anthony Johns.
Kendrick Miller's still on the board.
Talk about an engine. That boy got an engine, son. Got JL Skinner if you're looking for that safety.
Yeah.
Ivan Pierce if you're just looking for a goon.
Or we have Ivan. You said Ivan, right?
Ivan Pace.
You got Fehoko too.
Yeah.
Oh, Fehoko. What about Ivan Pace?
I would go Skinner or Pace here.
I'll be cool.
I would go Pace.
Damn,
I'll go
man.
Pace.
There's some guys up here. Carl Brooks is still on the board.
I like Brooks too. But I feel like Ivan Pace brings some juice to that linebacking group, bro.
But do you think we can get him later?
I do not. What's our next pick?
Yeah, 110 picks away.
There's no way he falls to 219.
Damn, we're going with
Kobe Turner.
What's the chat say? Anything? Is the chat chiming in?
We're talking Phillies in the chat right now.
We're talking Phillies in the chat, D.
Yo, I don't know Ryan, man. Jamie did not do it for me with them tight ass hips, bro.
We'll go with
that's you know, that's my guy right there.
How about we go Carl Brooks here?
We already got Nolan Smith. Why wouldn't we just get a starting safety?
Carl Brooks is a 3 technique, bro.
Yeah,
he's gonna kick inside.
That's what I'm saying.
That man's 305 pounds. He ain't no edge rusher.
All right,
Carl Brooks.
I like Brooks.
Uncle Carl it is. I feel like everyone was conflicted on that one. for sake of food. We're on
Anthony
the clock.
Johnson's still sitting there.
Oh,
Damn.
shit. I take Anthony
I would
Johnson.
definitely
at this point.
Johnson right there.
What did he
I
do?
don't love the player, but at this point, it's a
At
value.
that value, I mean,
We picked Anthony Johnson's junior safety out of Iowa State.
He said, "Y'all picking the same player." First of all, no, we ain't. No, we ain't. Because on the third round,
Yo, Pete, you funny for that, bro.
Last pick of the draft.
Lonnie Phelps is a dog.
Let's see. Make it count, guys. Make it count.
The center from USC. He graded out Christian Braswell. Braswell is my boy from Rutgers.
Jake Witt's sitting there.
Yeah, Witt is always sitting there.
I mean, we are at 248.
Jake Witt is always available, bro.
You talking about a center?
The center from USC.
Is he there? Oh, Brett
Neyland. Yeah.
That's your guy?
Oh, he's a good player. Solid pivot.
That guard from UCLA probably went already. We're gonna nail the draft with Brett Neyland, center.
Yeah, that's probably an A.
I don't know. They're gonna tax us for Jahmyr Gibbs. Smoke the front of this draft, yo. Cedric Tillman, they said get him out of here.
Hey,
I'm dying. It's Corey Trice. God damn, son.
Still got an A-.
We ended up with an A- though.
Hey, what did I say?
How? Oh, that A+ Anthony Johnson saved it.
That's Cedric Tillman. They're looking at y'all like y'all
PFF
fucking.
gave Nolan Smith a D+, Jahmyr Gibbs a D+.
That trade was ass, by the way.
Hey, we're trying to get out of here. We got a B+ for that trade, pal. Cedric Tillman.
As my grandma would say, it wasn't an A.
In the second round, they gave it a C+. Chandler Zavala out of North Carolina State, guard. They gave it an A. Corey Trice, they gave it an F. Carl Brooks, they gave it A-. Anthony Johnson Jr., round 7, they gave it A+. Brett Neyland, they gave it a B. Overall grade, A-. I mean, you guys have fun?
I'm hungry, bro.
This guy's like, I'm hungry, bro. Like, you didn't want to do this mock. I got pushed into this mock.
Now we're approaching the 2-hour mark. So
this is actually the longest podcast we've done.
So Pete, you hot, bro. Pete coming in more spicy than me, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, facts. He want that smoke. He said, "Y'all C+ the best."
That's at a C+ at the best. I'm dying.
So last word before we get out of here, man. We'll start with you, Mel. Last word.
Hey, man, just want to wish my wife a happy birthday. Just that woman is a complete blessing to me and provided me a son and just saved my life, bro. So always sing her praises, but on her day, I just want to wish her happy birthday. Good to see y'all, boys, man. Glad I could jump on for a second and go Birds.
Got pressured us into a mock. Tim, last word before we get out of here.
Nah, man, y'all know what's up, man. Keep on striving. Check on your loved ones. I hope everybody's safe. All right. Go Birds.
yes, sir. I wish I could hit fast forward, man, and bring us right to the draft. I'm getting antsy. I've had enough with the mock draft. I'm lying. I'm still gonna do a bunch of them up until the draft. But I just want to know what the final outcome is going to be, because no matter what ends up happening, we're going to find confidence in it. You know what I mean? No matter what Howie ends up doing, we're going to end up believing in it. So I'm looking forward to the draft. Go Birds. Go Sixers.
Listen, man, Gail fell in love with Jalen Reagor, man. So anything that happened on draft night, Gail's going to get behind it, baby.
Shit, man.
He going to sell us on it.
Shit. I also had, who else did I have higher than him?
Jetta.
We all wanted
Jet. Yes, sir.
Who's the other dude that's killing it in Cincy right now?
Who? Oh, you talking about?
Wide receiver.
T. Higgins.
Higgins.
Higgins. That was my other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't on the T. Higgins.
Yes, we did 3 damn videos, bro. Oh, check the fucking tape. All right. But I want to give a shout out to Jordan Malata. Jordan Malata on April 26th. He's having a food truck fundraiser for autism. Come meet Jordan Malata, some of your favorite Eagle players, and other Philly greats at this family friendly event. Check them out. April 22nd.
What time of day is that?
April 22nd. Let's see. This guy put me on the spot here.
I was just curious.
Good question. Good question, Ev.
All right.
Good
Sorry
good
to hit you with a loaded question there.
Good question, Ev. So, Ev, what was your last word? Are you good?
You want me to give a second last word?
Yeah, why
Or
not?
can I
Second
go?
word.
It's time to
Second
eat.
word. Because I was trying to do my last
As
word.
said by Randy Watson. Let's go eat.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone that stayed around for this. Obviously, draft talk's not for everyone, only for the crazies. But we're here for the crazies during the off season, man. We're gonna go get some eats. It's give me Taco Tuesday. Maybe enjoy some time with the family. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, but shout out to Prime, Lucky Jr. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Allison.
little man.
Happy birthday. Say some prayers for Hollis Thomas. Make sure he's doing okay. He's hanging in there. We'll see you guys in the next one. As always, fly, Eagles, fly.